Number 2, what about your worst investment?
Oh my goodness. And it's funny because when I asked you the same question, I went, yes, that's going to be my answer too. Margin loan in my late 20s. So I would say, just trying to create wealth because I was thinking, okay, down the track, I want to be able to have kids, and I was trying to save money and grow money. And back then, right, I think I can't remember the decade, but margin loans were all the thing. You go and get your loan and you buy all these shares and you're going to make all this money. And then, of course, what was it? What was the actual crash that happened? Was it
2008?
2008, yeah. Getting that margin loan call and going, oh dear. Fortunately, we had some money to be able to clear it, but it was a very big lesson on leveraging to buy shares. So fortunately, it wasn't one that really broke us, but it was a very good lesson around the risks of leverage when it came to shares. And probably my second worst investment was the second 2 investment properties that I purchased when I was in the buy and hold side of things, when I first started my wealth creation journey. We purchased 2 investment properties in Gladstone. One we built, one we bought at the top of the market in 2011. So we bought for cash flow. And at the time, I think we purchased the first one at $498,000. At the time, it was bringing in $650 rent. So the numbers were great, cash flow positive. But and then we went and bought a block of land and built a house, and that was renting for about $680. Then about 2013 or 2014, the market sort of started. It was an industrial town, but the market really pulled back and corrected. So a lot of workers left that area. And yeah, those houses have been reverse mortgaged for the last probably 8 years. And fortunately, we were in a position where we didn't have to sell those, but the rents dove down to about $290 a week. And the value, like the $498,000 one, went down to $260,000. Unfortunately, we were just paying our interest and hoping that the bank wouldn't actually do a revaluation. And same with the other property. But we sold both of those properties this year, break even. So never made any money in 12 years on those properties. No. So they weren't great investments. And it's funny, I had this conversation with my husband, and he would always go, whenever it's a tax time or we get this massive big rates invoice at around June, July, oh, those lemons, I'm so sick of those properties. I want to see the back of them. And I keep saying to him, I know they're not great investments, but look what's happened as a result. That was our first step, and it wasn't a smart decision. But we made the best decision, and we did at the point of the time with the information that we had. But that set us on this trajectory to then look for other solutions in renovation, then look for other solutions into property development. And that would have never happened if we hadn't started that. So I always try to I'm a glass half full kind of girl. So I think even though they weren't great investments, we learned a lot from it. And It
was one never to buy mining towns?
Not necessarily. I don't necessarily. Yeah, I mean, we nearly bought a property in Moranbah, which I think back to at the same time, right? We bought this, we had an offer on this property, and this is what you call seriously dodging a bullet. I know a lot of other people weren't as lucky, but we bought this first property in Gladstone, and then we had a property that we had put an offer on at Moranbah. So the property was going to be $780,000, and the rents at the time was something like $1,200. Insane rate. And for some reason, we thought, you know what? We're going to develop 3 on this property, and we're going to get 3 tons of rent, and it's going to be amazing. We'd never developed before. At that stage, I hadn't even educated myself about it and how we thought we were going to develop 3 properties in a mining town miles away without any skill and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, what happened, we were doing our due diligence, and as we were speaking to agents, I started getting this sick feeling in my gut. Something wasn't right. And I spoke to one lady, and she said, things are changing a bit. There's the amount of rental vacancies are starting to increase. I thought, hang on a second. And she said, properties are taking a bit longer to rent now. And I thought, hang on a second, something's happening right now. I couldn't quite put my finger on it, but we pulled out at the 11th hour, and then within 6 months, that market absolutely tanked. And unfortunately, there's a number of investors that got lost ignorance on that. So we seriously dodged a bullet there as well. But lesson from that was sometimes if your gut's telling you something, sometimes you got to really listen to it.
Well, you did dodge a bullet, because we see the back ends of those investment properties, the 791 sold for back then, and now we're doing reports where the purchase price is like $200,000, but the construction cost is still $400,000, right? So they're getting more deductions, but they're paid they paid 200,000 for it. But the poor person that paid 790, which could have been you, not a good position to be in.
No, absolutely.